This is Mark Carrillo. Bill Rohde first became interested in broadcasting watching a fraternity brother at TCU do a radio show on the campus station. Bill promptly changed his major from business to radio, television, and film and never looked back. After graduating in 1963, Bill returned to San Antonio in hopes of finding a job in broadcasting in his hometown. Nothing presented itself, so he took a job with KSOX in Raymondville, where he was newsman by day and rock jock by night. As luck would have it, just a short 5 months later, he was hired as a night jock at KEEZ-FM in San Antonio. In 1967, Bill heard that KBAT was looking for a night jock because the format was changing from Top 40 to MOR. He got the job. Later, when the station was purchased by Swanson Broadcasting, Bill moved to the morning show, where he was known for singing school lunch menus on the air and for the Rohde Rose awarded each day to working women. In 1970, Bill became program director. In September of '72, he was put in charge of changing KBAT to Great Country 68 KKYX. He remained on the morning show at KKYX until 1976, when he was promoted to vice president and general manager. He joined KFAN Radio as program director and morning jock in 1986. But just a few years later, he moved to KTSA as their program director and PM drive jock. Then in 1991, Bill finally found a permanent home. He joined WOAI Radio, where he worked for an impressive 24 years, doing everything from on-air personality to account executive for Clear Channel Radio. Over his 55-plus year career, Bill has done loads of freelance voiceover and on-camera talent work, including on-camera spokesman for Jockeys of Texas. Plus, for over 35 years, Rohde was the voice of North Park Lincoln Mercury and the K-Lig Auto Group radio and TV commercials. Bill officially retired back in 2015, but not really. He still hosts the Weekend Garden Show on the 50,000-watt news talk voice of the Alamo City, WOAI. He was instrumental in the careers of so many, and his voice is one of the most recognized in San Antonio. It is a joy to present him with this prestigious honor. Today, Bill Rohde is a 2018 inductee to the Texas Radio Hall of Fame.
Wow. Josh, first I got to say, great job. Put your hands together for Josh. Next year, though, one little thing you could add. The Rangerettes. Are they still around?
We're trying to find them.
All right, I too want to congratulate all my fellow inductees and thank Mark Carrillo, who just did that and who nominated me, and of course the Russians who hacked into the system to get me up here. In going through the steps of getting all that put together, I got an idea of some of the crazy things that we in the radio business have done. So rather than talking about myself for 2 minutes, I thought I'd borrow something from, what's his name? Oh, you might be a redneck. Foxworthy, Jeff Foxworthy. Except I call this, you might have been in radio. For example, if you've ever met someone and they ask you what business you're in, you say, well, I'm in the radio business. And they say, well, can you fix TVs too? You might be in radio. If you've had to chew the coffee in the break room before you could swallow it, you might have been in radio. If you played Marty Robbins' El Paso every day so that you could go to the bathroom, you might have been in radio. For you millennials, have someone explain that to you. If you ever started a record at the wrong speed, then blurted out an obscenity, then noticed the mic was still on, you might have been in radio. If your paycheck bounced and the boss asked you to take it out and trade, you might have been in radio. If you got calls on the request line from a gal that had the sweetest, sexiest voice you ever heard, then you met her one day at a station event and she looked like Larry the Cable Guy, you might have been in radio. If the station owner came into the studio and pulled a record out of play because a client didn't like it, you might have been in small market radio. If you were not allowed to run Preparation H commercials till after 9 a.m., you might have been in radio. This actually happened, not to me. If a listener brought you a plate of homemade cookies that taste like crap and you found out they were, you might have been in radio. I can't mention his name, but he is in the Hall of Fame. And if you ever watched WKRP in Cincinnati and thought it was a reality show, you've been in radio. Well, I've been in radio going on 58 years, and I'm proud to say 99.9% of that time was spent in one market, my hometown of San Antonio. I'm proud to say that my family is here, including my great-granddaughter, who has not made a single sound. She's been sleeping, or she's been out with Daddy. My son came from New York. My other son came from Atlanta. Pat came from Dallas. Joanne from San Antonio. And my granddaughter, who now lives in Dallas, Megan. Thank them all. I'm proud to be an inductee of the 2018 Texas Radio Hall of Fame. Now I have something really cool I can put in my obituary. I'm Bill Rohde, and I approve this message.